Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, and John Vias. Who do we have with the weather? Robert Paris on the weather, as Peter Brown's taking the week off. Jolie Atwood with the community calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Thank you for joining us. Super Tuesday was this week, and voters in Massachusetts cast ballots for their party's nominees. BNews Director Rich Hosford is in our election center with this update. Rich?
Hello, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford in our election center with the latest political news. Massachusetts voters joined residents in 13 other states and the American Samoa on Tuesday to vote in the presidential primary. In Burlington, a total of 6,282, or 43.7% of eligible voters, participated in the primary. Under the direction of Town Clerk Amy Warfield, voting went smoothly in Burlington. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak went down to the polls during Super Tuesday to check it out and has this look at the action.
It's Super Tuesday in Burlington, and the polls are open.
Well, it's going very well today. There's lots of variables today because it's a presidential primary. We also have the town committees on the ballot, and we're also dealing with the fact that there are four parties, the Democrat, Republican, Green Rainbow, and Libertarian. But our workers are doing really well, and the voters are coming in and voting. Most of the time they don't have to wait very long at all. It's pretty quick in and out.
Gorgeous, warm March morning. I can't believe it. So, I anticipate with the weather the way it is, a good healthy turnout for the presidential primary. They've been getting ready for it in a number of different ways. I was just talking with Don Flaherty about some activities they did with the police department ahead of time. Parking's a little challenging. People are likely to complain about the parking today, but there seems to be plenty of spots available, and the line's moving along really quick.
Some local candidates were on hand, taking advantage of the foot traffic.
I want to try to get my name out to all the voters in the town, and we felt that the presidential primary was a great time to spread my name and introduce myself to as many voters as possible. I have two kids at Pine Glen. My daughter is in kindergarten and my son is in second grade. And I'm also a teacher. I teach 7th and 8th grade social studies up in Lowell. And I've been a resident of Burlington for 7 years. As a result of those life experiences, I can provide a unique and strong voice on the school committee, a fresh voice, someone that can support students, that can advocate for taxpayers, and that can support all the wonderful educators we have in town.
I'm in Precinct 1, and I'm voting Republican today. And I know Trump's on the ballot, so I got my Trump hat on here. And I'm going straight down the line, Republican. No Democrats.
As you know, Amy did the early voting, and I understand she got some good numbers up there at Town Hall.
Some early voters may have gotten a surprise with the recent dropout of Senator Amy Klobuchar and former Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
Basically how in Massachusetts it works is anybody who was on the ballot at the deadline is still a candidate. And so what will happen is when it comes to the state convention, those people will have certain delegates that are promised to them because of the vote. And then after a second or third vote, they will be able to move to whatever candidates are currently still in the race. But as of right now, everyone who's on the ballot is still a viable candidate.
Be sure to get out and vote. From the Burlington polls, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
The cartridge is pretty dry.
Thank you, Tad. So how did Burlington vote compared to the rest of the state? In the race to challenge President Donald Trump as a Democratic nominee, Burlington voters in that party picked former Vice President Joe Biden as their standard bearer. Biden garnered 1,804 votes, while Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders received 1,285, and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren came away with 930. Coming in fourth, it was businessman Michael Bloomberg, who received 741 votes. Hawaiian Rep Tulsi Gabbard only received 60 votes. This matched the state overall, which also had Biden in the top spot, followed by Sanders in second and Warren in third. On the Republican side, it was no contest. President Trump received 1,264 votes in Burlington. The only challenger to garner any support was former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld, who came out of the night with 91 Burlington votes. This is also how the state voted as a whole, with Trump winning handily. Burlington voters will get to cast ballots again in just a month. The town election will be held on Saturday, April 4th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Burlington High School, and we'll be back then with more election center coverage. Stay tuned.
This week, Burlington police arrested a man who is allegedly engaged in one of the more vicious scams out there, where the victim is tricked into believing a loved one is either in jail or in danger. Chief Michael Kent reports that Burlington police arrested Eric Hernandez Quezada, 23 of Hartford, Connecticut, on Wednesday, March 4th, as part of an ongoing investigation into a local scam. Hernandez Quezada was charged with larceny over $250 from a disabled person over the age of 60, a release states. Judge David Frank released Hernandez Quezada on personal recognizance with the condition that he stay away from the victim and the victim's residence and have no contact. The next date in the case is April 17th. According to authorities, Hernandez Quezada allegedly engaged in a scheme in which he posed as an attorney and reached out to a Burlington senior claiming their son was arrested and that they would need to provide $7,500 in bail money. Burlington police became aware of the incident after being contacted by the elderly victim, stating that she had fallen victim to the scam. Burlington police immediately began an investigation. Through the subsequent investigation, police determined that Hernandez Quezada had allegedly conducted the scam. Burlington police applied for an extraditable warrant after identifying him as an out-of-state suspect. Hernandez Quezada was located in Hartford, Connecticut, where he was arrested. The Burlington Police Department believes that he may be involved in other successful or attempted scams in the area and asks anyone who feels that the suspect may have attempted a theft in their community to call their local police department. These are the allegations. All suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty, of course. We have been barraged with a flood of news updates on the coronavirus, and it can be difficult to separate what is legitimate information and what is hype. To help clarify things, we have teamed up with Burlington Board of Health to present weekly updates with verified information and well thought out advice on how to keep safe. Here's the first of those updates with Board of Health Vice Chair Dr. Wayne Saltzman.
Hi everyone, Dr. Wayne Saltzman. I'm a geriatrician and I'm elected member of the Burlington Board of Health. And I'd like to give a brief update on the coronavirus. I know there's a lot of information out there. There have been a number of people infected, been a number of deaths, and it's scary. Coronaviruses are not new. They are major factors in the common cold, but as we know, this coronavirus is novel, and it creates a syndrome called COVID-19, Coronavirus Disease 2019, COVID-19. As of March 6, 2020, in the state of Massachusetts, there has been one confirmed case of COVID-19 and 2 presumptive positive cases. And the presumptive positive is not meant to be concealing or nebulous. It just means that further testing is underway and they'll have results soon. The big news is that as of March 6, 2020, the state of Massachusetts is at low risk for COVID-19, low risk. I know what's happening in the state of California and New York and Washington, and there is ongoing daily news about how to test, how to treat, etc. Just know that the Burlington Board of Health is doing its part to maintain information, to support, and to help our town prepare. In the meantime, what can you do? Well, if you're feeling sick, short of breath, fever, etc., and you're thinking about going to the emergency room, and you would have done so even if it wasn't because you had fears of coronavirus, you should go. You should definitely call your doctor and ask for advice. You probably should not pick up and go to your doctor's office and expect to be tested there. Your doctor will know what to do. Give a call. Don't just show up. In the meantime, to help protect yourself, if you're feeling ill, stay at home if you can. that is the preferred way to prevent spread. We talk about hand washing all the time. Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. If you sneeze or cough, do it in a concealed way. Not like this, but like this. Try to keep the commonly touched surfaces in your home clean with common household cleaners. Wipe down your cell phone. Try to keep the alcohol part, if you're using alcohol type swabs, etc., away from the screen, but wipe down your cell phone on a regular basis. Check the Burlington Board of Health website or go to burlington.org. There's a public health alert and the latest information from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health or the Centers for Disease Control are maintained and formulated so that latest information can be given. And we'll continue to stay in touch with you. Thanks.
In related news, Superintendent of Schools Eric Conti sent a letter to parents assuring them that the school department is closely monitoring the situation and taking steps to help students and faculty, to keep students and faculty safe. He said they're working closely with the Burlington Board of Health and other town departments to monitor the situation and stay up to date with state and federal guidance. He added they are in daily contact with the Board of Health regarding absences due to illness and whether they have any confirmed cases of coronavirus from a student or staff member. If there is a confirmed case within the schools, they would notify families and let them know about any added interventions that would be undertaken. Thorough cleaning of the schools is underway and the buildings went through a deep cleaning during the February break. Finally, Dr. Conti said that the department has also taken the step of canceling high school foreign exchange student program that would have had Burlington families hosting students from Italy, a country with a higher number of coronavirus cases. There is an opening on an important elected seat that deals with housing for seniors and people with disabilities that the town is looking to fill until the 2021 election. The Board of Selectmen and the Burlington Housing Authority announced that one seat is available for a town of Burlington resident on the Burlington Housing Authority to temporarily fill the seat until the next town election in April of 2021. According to the release, local housing authorities are political bodies that are considered local government organizations under state law. They have 5 commissioners, with 4 being elected at large and 1 resident member being appointed by the governor. The local housing authority is a 5-year term and oversees state public housing for seniors aged 60 plus and disabled persons at their properties located in Burlington and are responsible for managing these Burlington properties and systems in accordance with state and federal policy and guidelines. Those interested in applying for this seat until the next election may send a letter of interest addressed to the Burlington Board of Selectmen along with a brief bio to the following email: BM McDonough, Betty McDonough, bmmcdonough@burlington.org. The Board of Selectmen and the Burlington Housing Authority plan to hold a joint session March 23rd to make an appointment. The BHS Drama Club put a twist on the classic Sophocles tragedy Antigone at the Fogelberg Auditorium at BHS last Friday. BNEWS reporter John Vias was there and files this report.
The Burlington High School Drama Club gave a modern twist on Greek mythology on Friday, February 28th, as Sophocles' classic story of Antigone was chosen for this season's production. I had a chance to speak with director Kate Hill about how the drama club brought the daughter of Oedipus to the Fogelberg stage, and how this new version of the story takes a turn from 441 BE to the modern day.
I don't believe any of the actors have been in a Greek play, and Burlington hasn't done one in the time that I've been here. So there's a chorus, which is a new style of acting for these characters. They have to be in unison, work together, and say lines at the same time. So it's just a different style of theater that they haven't done before. We spent a long time in the beginning wondering if this should be a modernized version or if it should be more traditional, more classic. We went through ideas, many ideas, whether we should modernize parts of it and keep other parts classical and have like a merging of the two, and we decided to eventually have the whole thing modernized.
The drama club's performance at BHS would make way for them to take the show on the road, and the revival of a lost BHS drama club tradition.
Yeah, it's the first time that these kids have traveled. Burlington did this years ago, but it's been a long time since Burlington's been involved in the Massachusetts State Theater Festival, so it's exciting to get back into that. Their flagship program is their one-act festival, but they also have musical awards, awards for student playwriting and design and scene work each year. But the one-act festival takes place every spring, so it's a great opportunity for these kids who don't get as much recognition in the building through the arts. They get recognized through METG.
Cade Hill reminisces on his experience working with this year's group of young aspiring actors and how the world of Antigone resonates with the morals and values of our world.
They're fantastic. These kids are critical actors. They think about their roles deeply. They look alive on stage. They don't just exist. They live on stage as their characters, so it's fun to watch them every day and see them grow as characters every rehearsal. So the big question in the play is whether or not something legal is always morally right and whether something morally right is always legal. That's the basic idea of Antigone, and it's the ideas still stick around today. It's a cycle. This happens again and again.
From the John Edward Fogelberg Performing Arts Center at Burlington High School, I'm John Vias for BNEWS Weekly.
Antigone, you learn something new every day. In other high school performance news, Burlington High School held the annual festival concert this week featuring numerous student musicians. BNews reporter Robert Paris went to check it out and has this report.
Just listen to that lovely music. On Wednesday, March 4th, the BHS Music Department held their annual festival concert featuring the BHS Chorus and musicians from the band.
We have 3 major concerts during the school year. One is the holiday concert in December. The festival concert takes place in March. And we call it the festival concert because we're getting ready for a lot of festivals that the different bands and groups are going to be performing in. And then, of course, we have our spring concert in May. So tonight's the festival concert, 7 o'clock in the BHS auditorium.
The preparations for this concert took several months.
It's a ton of preparation. The students have been working really hard for the last 3 months or so on this program. So we have classes during the school day where they do a majority of the work. And then these students are really dedicated. They've also been coming in after school, coming in the evenings. We've been working with guest clinicians and putting in extra time just to make sure that they're ready, as well as doing electronic recording assignments to make sure that they're ready on their parts.
Bucksbaum and his crew are always pleased to see audience members enjoying the music that they are performing.
I really hope that the audience just enjoys the music. Every ensemble here puts in countless hours of practice and rehearsal, and hopefully it will all pay off and everyone will just love it.
I think number one, just how hard the students work and everything that goes into it. I think they'll probably see everything that goes into that process. And then also just to enjoy the program. You know, we do these concerts to give back to the community and to allow students to demonstrate their work and for parents and community members to see all the great things that happen in Burlington. So I just hope that people enjoy the program and continue to support the performing arts program here.
From BHS, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
In the latest edition of our segment Burlington History Uncovered, Peter Coppola of the Historical Commission talks about an old way of making nails for building construction in the colonial era. Let's have a look.
Wooden pegs. They were used in a time before the Industrial Revolution when anything iron was very expensive to manufacture, so there wasn't a lot of iron in homes and barns and things like that during the colonial era. They used wooden pegs to hold everything together. The peg is called a trunnel, and that's a word that evolved over time. The idea is holes would be drilled in columns and beams, and then the trunnel would be passed through the holes, pounded in place, and that held everything together. Prior to building a house or a barn, and they would call the construction of those things a bee, so if prior to a house bee, the homeowner would sit down at his workbench and using a draw knife, he would clamp a piece of tree branch onto the bench, and then he would just slice and shape the end of the branch into a nail, and then cut that nail to length. So this was a tree nail. A nail cut from a tree. Tree nail. Trunnel. Get it? And you can see this trunnel at the museum.
Sign that spring is just around the corner. It's time to change the clocks this weekend. Also, your crocuses and robins may be in your yard. On Sunday, March 8th, we spring forward and move the clocks ahead 1 hour. Fortunately, thanks to modern technology, the clocks on smartphones, computers, tablets, and other devices will do this automatically. Home clocks, including those on ovens and microwaves, will have to be adjusted manually, as you know. Technically, this time change happens at 2 a.m., but unless you are a real stickler for the rules, changing them the night before you go to bed will help you be less confused at the time when you wake up. Springing forward does mean we will lose an hour of sleep, but on the plus side, it will stay later into the day. Finally, while you are adjusting your clocks, the Burlington Fire Department reminds you also to check the batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. BNEWS weatherman Peter Brown is out this week, but we have Robert Paris filling in with your weekly forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Jolie Atwood to see what's happening in Burlington.
Hello and welcome to this week's weather. I'm Robert Paris, in for Peter Brown, who is away this week. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. We start this cycle on Friday with a chance of rain and an otherwise cloudy day with temperatures in the mid-40s. On Saturday, the morning will be cloudy, but the sun should show up later in the day. It will be a little cooler with highs of around 41 degrees and windy with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Sunday will be mostly sunny and warmer with a high near 52 degrees. Monday will be even warmer with a high near 61 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Tuesday will be cooler with a high near 54 and we'll see a chance of rain. Wednesday will also have a chance of rain and a high near 50 degrees. And finally, Thursday will be cooler with a high of 44 degrees and will bring a chance of rain and possibly even a little snow. That's your BNews weather forecast for this week. And as Peter Brown always says, get out and enjoy the weather.
Hi, I'm Jolie Atwood, and this is your community calendar. Get ready for a fun-filled day of Dr. Seuss. On Monday, March 9th at 10 a.m., Dr. Song of Burlington will be having a book reading event at his office on 281 Cambridge Street. Dr. Song will be reading the Dr. Seuss book, The Tooth Book. There will also be toys, prizes, and free toothbrushes. Everyone is welcome, and the event is free. Come and raise awareness for a local organization. On Thursday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m., Relay for Life of Burlington will be having a kickoff fundraiser at Blaze Pizza. There will be free pizza and much more. For more information, go to secure.acsevents.org. There are creative artists in the making. Also on March 12th, Burlington High School will be having their 47th annual art exhibit and fashion show from 6 to 8 p.m. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, email ratkevich@bpsk12.org or visit www.burlingtonhighschoolart.org. I'm Jolie Atwood, and that was your community calendar.
The winter sports season has wrapped up for the Red Devils. We go now to BNews reporter Liz Gillespie for the final sports report until the spring sports action is underway.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. The winter season has officially wrapped up here at BHS. On Saturday, February 29th, the Red Devil wrestling team went to the MIAA All-State Championship at Methuen High School. Junior Zach Soda won 3-1 in overtime, which made him the 2020 Massachusetts All-State champ. His brother Cam came as the runner-up in the 113 weight class. Congrats to Zach and Cam on these accomplishments made this season. The boys track team finished the year with a state relay championship win for the 4th year in a row. Senior Keenan Wilson placed 2nd at the All-State Championship and 7th at the NE Championship at the high jump. A school record was broken by the shuttle hurdle team of Keenan Wilson, Ryan Devereaux, Joe Mitchell, and Thomas McKinich. More school records by Alex Keene in pole vault, Keenan Wilson in triple jump, and Sean Thur at the 400 meters. The team finished with a 3-1-1 record. Since the offseason is short, Coach Carr is gearing up for spring track in 2 weeks' time. As for the girls' track, they finished the season with a 2-3 record. A number of athletes qualified for states, a relay, and a number of the Lady Devils individually qualified for all states. The school record was broken in the 4x200 meter relay during the season. Boys hockey went to Stoneham Arena for a Super 8 consolation game against the Catholic Memorial Knights on Sunday, March 1st. Unfortunately, the team's season ended against the Knights after a 2-1 loss. On Monday, March 2nd, the girls' varsity ice hockey team went to the Canton Ice House to take on the Norwell Clippers. We'll have some highlights, so let's check those out.
The Burlington Lady Devils ice hockey team headed to the first round of the MIAA playoffs against the Norwell Clippers at the Canton Ice House on Monday, March 2nd. Let's check out some of the highlights. In the first period, it was all Norwell as they scored 3 goals. Now in the second, the Lady Devils were down by 3. They managed to get one back by Sienna Berdinelli. Burlington gets on the board! Norwell scored another 2 goals. 5-1 at the end of the second. Now in the final period, the Clippers scored another 2 goals. The Lady Devils playoff run ended with a 7-1 loss against the Norwell Clippers. We had a chance to speak with Coach Sheehan after the game.
You know, I don't think the score wasn't reflective of the effort. You know what I mean? We had a couple of nice chances. You know, a couple of bounces might have been a little earlier in the game. Might have been a little bit of a different score towards the end of the third period. You know, we start the third period. You know, two bodies down, so we had to kill a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half. So we got out of that okay. But, you know, you played a kind of a, you know, they had a few seniors on the team. They had some good hockey players on the team. And, you know, we gave it a good effort. We gave it a good run. I was happy for the girls, proud of them.
A number of athletes were named the Middlesex League Basketball All-Stars. Aiden Olivier, Kyle Inglis, Mike Melanson, Maria Callahan, Kelly Joyce, and Olivia Pena. While on the subject of basketball, the boys went to Tewksbury Memorial High School to take on the Beverly Panthers in the semifinals of the MIAA basketball tournament on Tuesday, March 3rd. We have some highlights from that game as well.
The Burlington boys basketball team went to Tewksbury High School to face the Beverly Panthers during the semifinals of the MIAA playoff tournament. A lot of action happened, so let's get to it. In the first period, the Red Devils scored 12 points, while the Panthers scored 15. The Devils were down by 3 at the end of the first. Now in the second period, Burlington picked up the pace, but Beverly was up by 1 point at halftime, 25-24. Third period, the Devils started to run out a little bit of steam as they only scored 13 points, and the Panthers had 18 points. 43-37 was the score at the end of the third. Things got interesting at the start of the fourth as Burlington caught up with Beverly as they put up 19 points. Beverly had 13 points. The Red Devils tied up the game near the end of the fourth as well. Olivier! Yeah! They tie up the game! They tie up the game! Can you believe that? 56-56. Regulation couldn't decide this one, so we headed to a 4-minute overtime period, and the outcome wasn't what we had hoped for. Burlington's playoff run ended against the Panthers 67-60. We had a chance to speak with Coach Connors after the game.
It was unfortunate, but I mean, I couldn't be prouder of my guys. Down 10, 3-4 minutes to go, come all the way back to overtime. Just fought so hard the entire time. We didn't play well, we didn't shoot the ball well, but we fought as hard as you can fight. We had I'm just insanely proud of these guys. And it just shows you don't come back from that without having the highest of character kids, which we do, and I couldn't be more proud of them. It's sad. I got a bunch of hurt guys in there. I'm hurting, more hurting, not so much that we lost the game that it's over. And I got to see Mike and Kyle walk out the door when they were been as good a kids as you can get.
And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie, back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week, photo shows a couple of Burlington youngsters doing what we all probably are, eagerly awaiting the spring weather. It was sent in by Joseph Sullivan and shows Lucas, age 4, and Joey, age 6, at the sign for Brush Field. Both boys are enthusiastic soccer players and had their soccer balls with them and were ready to hit the field for some practice. Thanks for the photo, Joe. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town. your friends or family. You can email them to bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, John Vias, Liz Gillespie, and Jolie Atwood. Thank you for joining us.